Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, I'd like to talk about a comment that I saw in one of my videos that reads or was talking about how they dislike these Western exams because they have so much control over our lives by having so many arbitrary standards, and these exams act as though they're better than Allah, and they take Muslims away from the Deen, and they cause them to focus on nothing but these exams, even though today could be the last day that they're alive. And I agree with nearly everything in that comment. I agree with nearly everything in that comment. I agree that they take Muslims away from the Deen, some of us. And I agree that they're distasteful because they do act as though they have so much control. But the comment, I believe, said that they have so much control. And this is the point that I disagree with. Ultimately, Allah created the pen, and when He did, He told the pen to write everything that would happen from the start of time to the end of it. And through dua, our qadr, our destiny, our decree, what Allah has decreed for us can be changed. And it is not these exams that have so much control over our lives. It has always been Allah. Allah, the one who created everything, the one who sustains everything, the one who is self-sufficient, the one who we all depend upon. He controls our destiny. And when we call out to Him, He can change it for us. It's not these exams. And I know it seems like that, and I know it feels like that. If you do poorly in these exams, there's nothing you can do. And you won't get money if you don't do well in these exams, and you won't be able to sustain yourself, and you'll become homeless, and do all of this and all of that. All this badness will happen to you if you don't do well in these exams. But I promise you, if you work hard for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's got you. And you make dua, and you call out to Him, and you pray your salah, He's got you. And on your point of it makes Muslims turn away from doing their ibadah and whatnot. I hear it, but ultimately it comes down to you. And do you do your ibadah? And how much are you willing to sacrifice for the sake of Allah? And how much trust are you willing to put in Allah? Because I'm still trying to do my memorize one ayah a day. I messed up yesterday, I didn't do it yesterday. And now the surah that I need to memorize has been changed, because when I went to the Tajweed course today, one of the homeworks is that I need to memorize the first 8 ayahs of Surah Yasin by next week. It was meant to be the first 6, but then I wasn't there last week because I went out with my family. So now I need to do 8 by the end of next week. But I'm gonna do the best that I can to get that done. And it's not about asking for a lighter load. It's not about bringing back your ibadah and bringing back all of this consciously so you can quote unquote do well on these exams. You still do the best you can in everything. Don't ask for a lighter load, ask for a wider back. I had a choice to do this Tajweed course alongside my exams, and I took up that opportunity. It's a choice. And I hear it that, yeah, it takes you away from your deen. But if you're not going to call out to Allah when you're in most need, when will you ever call out to Him? If anything, these times of distress should be when our iman is the most high. I saw this short, I've seen like a couple shorts actually, talking about, I think it's Prophet Yaqub alayhi salam, and talking about how he said, don't ever doubt in the mercy of Allah. And he's saying this to his children, not when he's comfortable, but when two of his children are lost. Not dead, but lost. As in, they don't know, they can't find them. Not they're buried under the ground, they're lost and he can't find them. Imagine the distress. He's blind and he can't see. And he says, don't ever, to his children that are with him, don't ever doubt the mercy of Allah. You see, times were hard. His iman didn't waver in the slightest. And you know what happened? His son came back and they started hugging each other. SubhanAllah. Literally, it's so amazing what iman can do and how iman can help us combat these feelings of these worldly things decide how my life goes. We have Islam. Islam grants us so many things, but remember, it grants you the ability to not be so caught up in this dunya and to remember that Allah has decreed everything and He has you. Like, He's got you. I promise. I know sometimes it seems like, does He really? But I promise He does. So do not neglect your salah. Do not neglect any of your ibadah. Try and do everything that you can. Do everything that you can to do well in your exams. Do everything you can do to do well with your ibadah. Don't try not to sacrifice. The 94th surah of the Quran, I believe, talks about how Allah made the Prophet, peace be upon him, more capable. It says, did we not expand for you your breast in the opening ayah of that surah? Did we not expand for you your breast? Are you saying, did we not make you more capable? And he's saying this to the Prophet as a comfort when he's trying to spread Islam and people are giving him hatred for it. The same is true for you. As you've grown up, Allah has made you more capable. Don't fear in that. Don't doubt that. You're capable of so much more than you believe. We all are. We can do both. We can focus on the deen. We can focus on the exams. We can focus on taking care of our health. We can do it all, man. Don't limit yourself. And don't blame these exams. Don't blame another person. Don't blame anything else for the fact that you might be lazy, or you might be scared, or you might be this, or you might be that. Let go of it and trust in Allah the Almighty. Trust He has you, because ultimately it's a choice. You're making a choice. If you're choosing to neglect your salah, if you're choosing to cut back on your ibadah to focus on these exams, it's a choice. The intention behind that choice is what is very important, because actions are judged by their intentions, but ultimately it's a choice. And if you're complaining that it forces Muslims to neglect their salah and take away from their ibadah, don't ever forget that it's a choice, because you can do both. We have it so easy. I'm not even being funny. It takes discipline. It does, to do it all and to, at the same time, not fall into all of the traps that are in this life. To not fall into procrastination, to not fall into doom scrolling, to not fall into watching YouTube videos, to not fall into binging a Netflix series, to not fall into doing this and doing that and taking yourself away from your work. And then when the time comes, you're underprepared because you didn't work hard enough. And that is the reality. It's all a choice. We have free will. What we decide to do with that is up to us. I cannot force you to do work. You cannot force me to stop doing work. So that's the main reflection for today. Remember that you have a choice. You can do both. It might take some sacrifice. You might not be able to watch YouTube video. You might not be able to go to sleep as early, or you might not be able to wake up as late. You might not be able to relax for as long, but it's a choice. And the question is, are you willing to make it? Don't push the responsibility of your choices onto things like, oh, these exams take me away from my deen. If you're conscious of that fact, change it. If these exams make you neglect your salah, change that, because you're forgetting Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who decides how your destiny plays out. Not these exams. These exams do not have control over your future in the slightest. If Allah uses these exams as a vehicle for you to move forwards, then that was Allah's doing, not the exams. So if you're choosing to sacrifice your deen, to sacrifice the obligatory acts, to try and do well in these exams, do not ever forget that Allah is the one who makes the world move. Don't ever forget that Allah is the one who blesses you, because He can take it away from you in an instant. Do you understand? It's a choice. Like, I love you, man, but I cannot agree with what you're saying about these exams have so much control over our futures, and these exams take us away from the deen. It's a choice. You choose to do that. And it sounds rough, but it's true. So, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget, you always have a choice. Work hard, pray hard. Allah's got you. Keep working. We're nearly at the end. And assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.